starting to look like a comic book. I wonder if I can do that, just have a non-story comic book. Just on the basis of illustrating something interesting, and then something like exploration. I don't know. I don't think that would work. Something tells me that wouldn't work. Yeah, it looks like a comic book because you have like an establishing shot of a city getting close, then you have a docking sequence. You have an establishing shot of the environment you dock in, then you have like close-ups of the character. All you need is like an eye shot. Something like that, I don't know. But it's starting to look like my thumbnails are actually like someone thought about what's it called, the placement, but these are just thumbnails, so. Starting to think it'd be a good idea to start carrying a hammer to work, just so I have like something to defend myself outside of work. Two, cause I got one by the register just in case, you know, if someone pulls a knife on me. Yeah, if someone pulls a knife, I'm not doing that shit. Fuck that. They pull a gun, however, yeah, no, just give them the money. I feel like a hammer is a better weapon, especially since there's like distance between the register and the person. The money in the bag. And I have the hammer. I just like pop him one and then get back. Maybe looking for a better job is a maybe don't work nights in a dangerous area. How about that? What about that? Does that sound like a good way of solving this problem? No, I think I'll start carrying around, cause like the shit that happens in that neighborhood. Like, let me tell you this weird fucking story. It happened to me yesterday. Like, I'm waiting for the bus. There's other people there. We're all waiting for the bus. The bus is coming. We see the bus. Then this is like the third time that something like this has happened to me in the in this area. So this guy comes up and he's like so excited to have caught the bus. Like, this is the what's it called? You know, late night bus, and he's caught it. So he's just like he's kind of energetic, you know, not regular person energetic, but like just crackhead energetic. I don't know. And so the bus is approaching, and he's like looking at it, and then he turns to me, right? And he's looking at me, and he's just sizing me up, I think, or something. And I noticed this, and my fucking crackhead sense goes right through the wall. So I mean I basically work security, and I could tell what these guys are thinking, kind of, a little bit. Not, you know, like 100%, but a little bit. Usually when I look at them, I can see like what they're kind of thinking. Like it's kind of like you seeing a person that's looking for their keys in their pockets. They're just like jumbling for the keys, patting themselves down. You kind of think, oh, okay, I know what they're doing. They're looking for their keys. These people, they look for openings in your fucking awareness, and when they see that opening, they do shit. They exploit it. So they watch you to do this. Anyway, so yeah, it's very like you like when you see it, you enough times you're like, oh, okay, I understand that he's watching me. So anyway, so this guy, the bus is coming, and he just like turns to me and he starts looking at me. And then he looks back at the bus, and then he looks at me, and he looks back at the bus. The bus is like slow rolling, and then this guy just barely made it. I want to make that clear. He ran up, you know. Was like so happy to get there, and so he's kind of positioning himself for the middle door. There's 2 doors. Then for whatever reason, he decides to switch places with me. I'm standing here, he's standing over here. And he switches places over here behind me, right? And I turn to face him, right? Cause like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, you might be going for the first door, right? But then you're kind of cutting in line, right? Like, whatever, it's a bus, everyone's gonna get on, no one gives a shit. So I turn to face him. And he's kind of watching me. He's still watching me. And the bus is still like slow rolling, like fucking 1 meter a minute. So the guy just looks at me, and then he takes out a MetroCard. This is like, you know, you would see this and you'd be like, oh, okay, this is what he's doing. He's taking out a MetroCard because he's getting ready to pay. And that sort of thing. This would be like the end of it, right? And I go for my pockets, and I'm like, wait a second, let's not do that. I don't pull anything out, and I just stand there staring him down. And so he's kind of looking at the bus, and he's looking at me. He's looking at the bus. He's looking at me like he wants me to turn around and look at the bus, right? Monkey see, monkey do. That type of behavior. You ever see people do that? And so I'm just dead ass staring at him in his face. So right as the bus gets there, he switches positions again, but this time he like basically brushes up against me. And he's standing behind me again. And I turn to face him. I walk backwards to the door. Right? And so this guy got there for the bus, right? He's so lucky. The bus just got here, and so he should get on, right? No, he just fucking like stands there for a little bit. I get on the bus, and he walks the fuck off. Right? This is like classic fucking crackhead behavior. I don't know what the fuck he wanted, but it wasn't to get on the bus. And so like, this is not the first time this shit has happened, but it's like, it's really fucking weird that it happens kind of to me. Like, I don't know, I feel like it's like one of those things where they change their minds. Cause that shit happens a lot. These people aren't looking for a fair fight. They're looking for easy mark. Like this one dude comes into the store and he starts putting like detergent in bags that we sell in the store. And he finds some fucking bags and he starts filling those shits with detergent. One of the managers comes back from break and he sees that and he's like, all right, this is no longer worth it. He just dumps off all that stuff, just leaves it in the aisle, and he just walks out. So I don't know. I feel like you know what? If I had something to keep me safe, I would feel a lot better. And you could say like, "Oh, that's paranoia, man. You're just paranoid." But like at that point, I don't really give a shit. I don't really give a shit about PC or any of that. Like, oh man, everyone's just a suspect to you because you're white or some shit like that. It's like, no, not really. Like these people do that all the time. And so, like, I don't know. I feel like at that point, just need something to because like if I use a weapon in the store, if I use a hammer in the store, I'm getting fired, right? They're not like there was a manager who had a knife pulled out on her, and like, you know, he tried to use it on her, so she took a hammer and she busted his head open. And she got fired because, well, like you can't just defend yourself. What are you thinking? Just like you're dangerous. Defending your life was a mistake. You shouldn't have done that. But like outside, I don't even know. But yeah, this is like the thing. They wait for you to do some shit like pull your phone out of your pocket, or your Metro card out of your pocket, and then they go for it, you know? And if you're not paying attention to them, you know, like you're like, "Oh, well, he's just, you know, he's very non-threatening or whatever." It would be, you know, racist to pay attention to someone doing this crackhead nonsense, some shit like that. Because it's always a race thing. We're getting a cop to guard the store, so at that point we're gonna have security with weapons, so I don't have to worry too much about my safety within the store most of the time. But I probably will have to worry about it outside of the store, because this shit keeps happening. Like people at that bus stop, some of them are not there for getting on the fucking bus. I don't know what the fuck they're doing because they haven't done it yet, but it's some really sketchy fucking shit. I know we have like a homeless shelter nearby, so maybe they're just like mentally ill, just taking out their Metro card to get on the bus, but then they don't get on the bus because reasons. I don't know. It's just really sketchy shit. I probably should get a different job somewhere in a different time frame, maybe, or at least, you know, something like. Yeah, he was probably scared to get on the bus. Oh man, yeah, that must have been it, man. Some dude was just staring at him. Oh no. I don't know. I feel like because I'm white, my complexion makes me a target. Because it seems like I might not do shit. Most of the people there are very quick to slap the shit out of someone, and they make it very well known. So the only thing I can do is watch people. Like, I'm not committing any crimes, I think. by keeping my eye on these fucking crackheads, man. Like when they start doing their shit, like when it's just regular people, you can tell right away when someone's just minding their business, and when someone's doing some fucking something that's just strange. And you get that feeling in the back of your head, and that's that intuition. You're a frail Jew. That's right, yeah. My Judaism is not helping me here. No, but it's like, it really is like, statistically, intuitively, is just a bad situation. Like, I don't know. But yeah, I should probably get a different job. I could do other things, or I could do that same thing in a different place. Now I have work history. So I can leave, do something else, probably. But yeah, it's dangerous in the Bronx, man. It's dangerous. There's a robbery and a stabbing and assault every day, like in that one neighborhood. We're up to like 500 or something assaults per year. Just for the neighborhood, when like Bronx wide, it's something like tens of thousands of assaults. I'm gonna have to do something else. I don't know. Or at least, you know, with that hammer in my hand, in that in a what's called, you know, concealed weapon, I'd feel safer at least. Yeah, it is. It is. It's like it's not regular. This the neighborhood like has been turned into um I hear like these old Spanish ladies tell me all the time. It's just like this isn't what it was like before. It's just totally different. This neighborhood has really gone to shit. These kids, they're fucking it up. And to them it's kids because, well, they're probably like 50 or something. 50 or 80. Something like that. I can't tell ages above 50 very well. So yeah, that was my crackhead story for the day. No one else did any shit that was too crazy. Um Or maybe they did, but I was just cashiering. Other than that, one dude that put detergents in bags and was gonna, we thought he was gonna come back for those shits. Like he found all the detergents without, security locks. For some reason, someone put them up there. They shouldn't have, but they did. And yeah, when detergent doesn't have the security lock, that means it's getting jacked. But yeah, maybe I'll try the post office. That would be kind of cool, I think. Kind of a cool job. 50 isn't that old. My mom is 50. I don't know what age my mother is, to be honest. Something like that. A little younger, I would say. I'm not good at remembering ages either. I would have to count back. Oh, right, I have a design for this. Or at least the shape design. But yeah, dealing with the crackheads in the Bronx does teach you some skills. Like, again, your intuition gets trained real quick to pick up crackheads. I have a patented crackhead detection software just running in my head at all times. But yeah, having an armed security guard in a store should tip you off that nothing is the way it should be, right? This shouldn't happen. Shouldn't have to happen. It should be prohibitively expensive to do something like that. It shouldn't even be like a consideration. Right? Wrong. That's the Bronx. But yeah, it gets a little crazy, gets a little hectic. I think they caught the two guys that robbed our store, so that's good. I don't have to watch my back for those two douchebags. Supposedly they caught them, but I'm still keeping that fucking hammer at my register, because fuck that. If they're coming at me, I'm not even gonna think twice. I'm just gonna take that shit out and start swinging. I'm not trying to talk tough either. It's just like, I am mentally prepared. There's probably footage of me just taking out that hammer and just like miming the movements that I'm gonna like do to those fucking douchebags. Probably not bad for the case if there was one. So you premeditated this attack on our innocent suspect here. Innocent man just coming into shop. Wait, isn't that the guy that just robbed us at knife point? Yeah, that doesn't matter, because this is a totally different lawsuit. So how long have you been a sociopath? Just, I feel like that's probably gonna come up, man. I don't actually want to hurt anyone, but like, this is like, that at that point it's self-defense, and I need to make sure that I'm alive at the end of the day. And you know, they don't want to hire me, they want to fire me, that's fine. I could live through the firing. I can't live through a knife to the chest. Tesla, Elon Musk stepped down as a chairman. I think that's like a bullshit move. He's like, yeah, we'll just have him step down as the chairman. Nothing changes, business as usual. Big fan of Musk. This is a new machination. You know, Musk friggin' stock is gonna stay very strong, I think. There's a very big cult around Elon. And they can't, I don't think they can afford to lose Elon as a figurehead and visionary. I'm sure he provides, you know, much more than just being an inspirational figure. I don't know, I'm constantly watching Tesla, seeing what's going on. I'm thinking of maybe investing. I just don't have enough money to invest. Especially when the stock is low. Tesla itself, I don't know if it's a financially viable company. It's kind of not great. But yeah. Governments really aren't doing enough to make the transition to non-fossil fuels a priority, I feel like. Especially places that aren't the US. They sign like little deals, like, or proclamations, but they don't do any of it. So it's like, oh yeah, we're committed to ending global warming. It's like, but China, everyone there drives like a, what's it called? Regular fuel truck. So like, hold on. Committed in spirit is what I like to call it, I think. China, India. That crazy Becca Liu woman is apparently back in the news. She did the alternative influencer report. Oh man, big words make it sound scarier, right? That's how it works. Alternative influencer. She gave a scary name to new media. Like, amazing. That's your contribution? I'm a data scientist. I give scary names to shit. We didn't have a name for this, so, you know, I came up with one. I don't know, I think it's a little farcical. It's a little funny. Kind of sad. But yeah, she was like, why aren't we talking about Joe Rogan giving platforms, mainstream media platforms to, what's it called? What was the word that she used? It was something like dangerous ideas or dangerous people, like Sargon of Akkad, that British guy who wants to make some money on YouTube and do cringy speeches in real life. But the thing is that Becca Liu named Joe Rogan earlier, right? I think that was the funnier part of what's it called? Because she listed him in that list of like the untouchables. Oh, it was more like an emotional map. I don't know. A feels map. But Joe Rogan was clearly part of the alternative influencer network. But now she's saying that Joe Rogan is mainstream. And I'm just like, what's going on here, buddy? I thought you were having I thought this was the alternative influencer network. Now it's mainstream all of a sudden? That's interesting. What else? What else did I briefly see on Twitter I want to comment on? Uh, Millennial Woes, Internet Crybaby, and General Spurg got banned off of some platform. I don't really like people getting banned. I feel like he should be allowed to say the stupidest shit that he can come up with, and cry on YouTube or wherever it is that he's doing. I don't know, something about like censoring people just gets me like riled up. Because it seems to happen at a really huge frequency now. Maybe it's just that it gets reported on. I'm just more aware of it. But it seems like every day some guy on YouTube or Twitter gets his platform taken away for whatever reason. Not sure if that's a good thing, because it seems like we're getting to this place where we're kind of shifting to the politics of the university now, and what's happening in the university, like as kind of like a telltale sign or something more like a prediction of what's gonna happen next, is people are not allowed to say statistics, which is really strange. I think a student was reprimanded, and she recorded the the interaction. She was pulled into an office where teachers started berating her. I think she's like a student teacher or something like that. Or she's a student trying to become a teacher, something like that. But anyway, she said that there's a link between premature birth rates and abortion, and therefore there's a link between autism and an abortion, which is kind of supported by data. There's a couple studies you can look up, mostly done in Europe. And so this isn't something that's not true or even, medically unsound. But she was like taken into an office, and they told her that she was silencing people or shutting people down by saying things, making people very uncomfortable. But it's like at that point, if you can't, it was a discussion on autism, right? And if you can't bring up a fact about autism, because it's troubling to people, I just don't really understand what the point of the university is at that point. Is it really supposed to just indoctrinate you? Is that what it is? The euphemism that one of the teachers used was, it's not about critical thinking, it's about critical mindedness. This really pissed me off because it's like the biggest euphemism I've ever heard. Because it's supposed to be like open-mindedness with critical thinking mashed together, but that doesn't make any sense. Because there's no such thing as critically keeping your mind open, right? These are two different concepts. You can't be critically fucking minded. You're critically accepting to all ideas that come. Like what? What? That's one of those words doesn't mean what you think it means, or it does, and you're just using language as like some kind of weapon. Just pretending that the shit that you say makes sense, but it doesn't. There's no such thing as being critically minded. There's critical thinking, critically engaging with ideas that are presented to you, and there's being open-minded. Those are two concepts. You You can't like make this new word. It's like, oh yeah, it's just critical mindedness, man. This is some kind of Orwellian nightmare. Just like not even trying to hide it anymore. Anyway, the woman kept the recording secret till she graduated. Smart. But it's now being shared. I think that's a problem. If the university is the place where you can't discuss ideas, because people have, you know, their sacred cow. I'm pro-abortion, so I don't really give a shit. I feel like at this point, it's still kind of an ethics, a balance where the need kind of outweighs the damage. But I mean, that could change, I think, depending on you know, if you were able to link abortion to autism, for instance, or premature births, because that's not that's no bueno. Premature births means all kinds of developmental diseases and just really bad stuff that comes out later. Asthma, things like that, things that, you know, not so great. I think it's a plausible hypothesis because if you look at places that don't have abortions, they don't have the same problems in the same capacity as we do. For instance, asthma and certain other immunological I'm not sure what that word is in English, actually. In Russian it's immunologические, but I don't know if that's a direct translation there. Immunological. Immune-based, let's call it immune-based issues. So maybe it is a strong hypothesis, but like testing it is difficult. And the testing that we have right now is limited. I think there's like one study with something like 3,000 cases and 4,000 as control. I don't know, if I was that student, I wonder like what I would have said. Like, okay, so wait, hold on. So what is your problem with this study, for instance? I wonder if they would have had an answer. I don't think they were disputing the truth claim at all. I think they were just saying something like, you can't say this because it makes people uncomfortable. Even if it's true, you still can't say it. Your freedom of speech isn't important because you're using your freedom of speech to stifle other people's freedom of speech. Some kind of bullshit like that. I don't know, I really hate this argument because it doesn't really make any sense. It's just kind of like, well, if you're saying something, someone else can't say something? Like, that doesn't make any sense at all, because the way that it's executed is usually it's executed from a position of power, far away from wherever you are. So the person using it is usually like the guy above you, like your boss or a principal or something else. And they're like, okay, well, we're gonna shut you down because you're shutting other people down somehow by saying things. I don't know, that just triggers me a little bit. Really gets my my butthole twitching. I don't know, something about those words. It seems like something like out of a deep disconnect from reality or something like that. Like someone who hasn't really lived in like the current real world, where it's a dangerous place, and so you concern yourself with something like someone getting their feelings hurt because of words. In a place where you're supposed to be discussing ideas. I don't know, it just seems like really not preparatory, which is the function I think that colleges serve. It's supposed to prepare you for meeting the challenges in the outside world, the challenges that reality throws at you, you know? So it seems really strange that you would want to just like, oh man, there's people that disagree with abortion or something like that. It's like, you really want to coddle people? Like, or, you know, there might be a price. There's always a price, Jordan Peterson likes to say. To everything costs something, even if it's not monetary in value, there's always a price. Says some shit like that. I don't know, mostly true, but super banal. You know, you don't have to tell, maybe you do have to tell people, actually, now that I think about it, maybe you do have to tell people that there is always a price. maybe making fun of Kermit was a mistake. But yeah, I'm not really worried about the university environment, but I am worried about it transitioning to the real world, where you might meet someone on the street and they'll be like, oh, you can't say that. It's hurting, it's shutting down my speech, even though I'm not saying anything, you know, and then be like a mob of people, college educated, and they'll be like, ah, yeah, we're all college educated, you can't say these types of things. Like, what? Slow your roll. Hey, Fire Onyx, what's up, dude? And thank you. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. This is just like some thumbnails, probably for a piece I'll be doing. I don't know which one I want to choose just yet. It kind of looks like a comic book, but that's not really the intention. I think it's supposed to be a these are just like loose ideas for what's it called? But there's like a clear progression for some reason. You have a landing sequence. How am I alone in here? Oh, I'm spurging out. Probably. That's probably driving people away. Picardo doesn't really like my work, to be honest. I think something about not what's it called? Not being the correct type of work. I don't know. There's sometimes people come in here, very rarely, but they do come in here. I'm not even in streaming to Picardo. I'm streaming to like a bunch of places, and usually most people are in like Twitch or something. So maybe that's why. Maybe Picardo doesn't like. Maybe that Picardo doesn't like it either. That I'm not exclusive. Because attracting more attention is cuteness. Yeah, probably. I mean, yeah, it's a different what's it called, genre here. And that's cool. I think I don't want to say that, you know, you should turn everything into the same thing. This is like the I feel like the crux of what, what I believe is that we need different places doing different things, and if, you know, Picardo is for cuteness, then it should definitely be that. I feel like that would be good. Yeah, I'm not here to get famous. I am here to sell artwork. Sometimes that happens. Like, some people buy work. They'll be like, oh, I need what's it called? I need this done. Oh, I need that done. And then they'll pay me. And that's kind of what I'm after. That sort of fame. I guess that's still fame in a nutshell. But not fame for the sake of fame. More like fame for capitalism. I love my capitalism. Yeah, not totally the same. I think I'm gonna commit to the middle one. That's probably where I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna widen the perspective a little bit. I think I'll be okay just doing it. Hey, thanks for sharing. I appreciate you. Appreciate ya. Yeah, I think I'll be doing this one now. I think I like it the best out of all of them. All these thumbnails. Let's see. Let's see. I think some of the stuff is, oh, cause the background. Yeah, the background. All right. Okay. Was it this color or hold on? This color. Yeah. Okay. That should work. Hey, thanks, dude. Appreciate it. Yeah, I haven't updated DeviantArt in a little bit. I should probably throw some of my newer stuff up there too. I think I have a couple that I haven't really posted there. I'm usually on like ArtStation. At least I try to keep ArtStation up to date. Oh, you're gonna get called dude, whatever. Like, I call everybody dude. I call Ixie dude, and she's okay with it. I'm a dude, you're a dude, she's a dude, we're all dudes. That's just how it is. Let me see. She dude. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm like 2 behind in on what's it called, the DeviantArt. I should probably upload it there too. I'm Brazilian, so that's why it's funny to me. I'm not sure what the Brazilianness has to do with it, but alright. I wonder if I could do like a super wide. But yeah, I feel like I want to just make some of this We don't say dude, we say Kara. Kara? Interesting. Oh, you guys are Portuguese, right? I used to hang out with one Brazilian dude. Portuguese. Like a mixture between Spanish and Spanish and something else. I think it was French. I love your voice, it's so chill. Hey, thanks, appreciate it. Chill voice.jpg. Let's see. Guess I'm gonna start developing like a value structure first, and then from there. From there. Position the characters out the way I want them. And we'll see. I'm thinking about like lampposts here. This type of lamppost. Just shining down a little bit. Could also explain away why this is lit. Ah, you're on Twitch now. Welcome to Twitch. 2 places at once. You see, this is why I think restreaming is a great idea for places like Twitch. Because generally, it brings in more people than it bleeds. And some people are very afraid. Because it is all about those ad clicks, you know. Make no mistake. I've been thinking about this. Am I technically an Amazon subcontractor? By the most technical technicalities? Konnichiwa. Thanks for the follow, appreciate you. Ironics. So yeah, gonna flatten this out just a little bit. I think this part has to be changed. I want to make it like an entrance. An entrance into the unknown. But yeah, I think different platforms cater to different types of audiences, right? So I have like some some platforms cater to, say, more anime. Like I think Twitch has a fair bit of anime, but I think there are more fantasy illustration based people here, because even professionals stream on Twitch. I know Rungia streams on some weird Chinese site. It's kind of strange, but you know. I bet he would not get as many Chinese viewers on Twitch, especially since Twitch banned China, 'cause reasons. Yeah, Twitch, China banned quite a few streaming platforms. I don't know what they're thinking. It's China being China, I guess. China. So still have my spaceship here in the back. A sip. Yeah. Drinking that coffee. I make sound effects for drinking. I noticed this. Actually, my wife noticed this. She's like, you make a lot of sound effects that you don't really need to make. And I'm like, I need to make those sound effects. That's just how I drink. I do the in commercials, you know? That really hits the spot. I don't know, I guess I'm just enjoying things at such a high level that I have to vocalize it somehow, you know? Yeah, right? That's part of the enjoyment. You go, What I'm drawing now is Space China. Space China #1. Most science fiction predicts some sort of Asian hegemony in, like, Blade Runner, for instance. It seems like it's very Asian. The designs for the people living there, like their clothing, their culture, it's very Asian. They eat noodles. They have signs in Chinese. I think they even speak Chinese in Blade Runner. Kind of interesting. Maybe they are smarter than us. They will live on. Maybe. Maybe. I think it's about numbers, right? Like how many number of people will carry on a culture into the future. And China seems to be winning that numbers game for sure. I don't think it's generally like I think some things are not just numbers. Like if you think of culture as just genetic information that's you know, or epigenetic information would probably be something above genetics that's not really what's called, that's passed down over and over. And you could kind of view culture as a biological phenomenon. It's not just a numbers game. There's just some code that's just better, you know, like maybe, oh, I don't know, democracy, something like that. Democracy as a what's called, as a tenet of human civilization that just lives on. Maybe not. Maybe democracy's gonna die out. My geography teacher said that they will conquer everything that USA has lost. There's a lot of people that believe that China will become the world hegemon in the near future. I'm not sure it's a good thing for anyone. Especially if you look at what China actually does, and it seems to me like slave labor, unethical legislation, corruption. And so I don't think it would be really good for China to become #1. They eat dogs. I mean, that's not as bad. That's not so. Maybe we should eat dogs. Like, out of all. They eat they eat cats too, so it's like it's an even thing, you know. They do eat dogs and cats. But yeah, I don't like. If we were to imagine China as, yeah, they eat monkeys too. It's a little scary, but yeah, monkey brains. I wouldn't want to eat a primate. That's like one of those things I feel like should be kind of off limits. But yeah, you can get monkey in certain Chinese provinces. Cannibalism? I'm not sure. I hope not. I hope not. At least I'm sure they have the same. Well, they have more people, so maybe they have more cannibalism. But per capita, it's probably the same amount of cannibalism as we have, since it's kind of a, since humans are a social animal, it's kind of socially unacceptable to eat your parents, for example. It just wouldn't work. Vegans always ask the question, well, why isn't it acceptable to eat eat your parents? You know, why not? So I feel like some people need an explanation, you know, why is it that? I don't know. So maybe there are more people that need that sort of explanation in China. You know, they have more vegans, so maybe they also have more cannibals because they don't, you know, have a reason for why you shouldn't eat people. We could be spiders and eat our husbands. No, thank you. I know they eat their kids too. Like guppies do that as well. Have like animated signs. But yeah, It seems like a lot of people want America to lose its place as the top of the world because they think China or Russia would do a better job, which is like the funniest thing I've ever heard. I don't understand who could have taught him something like this, but yeah, seems like a very prevalent type of thinking. If China was as powerful as Britain was during the, its imperial era, and and has motivated to conquer the outside world, I feel like every place would be like China. That would be really bad. Just really, really bad. I'm sure someone would argue against that, like, oh man, what do you mean slave labor is bad? Everyone should have slave labor. And laws which allow you to run people over and then pay a fine. Yeah, that's great. Thank you, Chinese culture. Amazing. Everyone has a different point of view, and all points of view are just the same. They're totally equal. Don't you understand that? I guess that's just how it works. Cannibalism just the same as any other idea. Every idea is beautiful. There are cannibalistic tribes like in Africa, so I believe in vampires too. Vampires, cannibalistic tribes. Just like, yeah, every culture is equal, man. Don't you know? Don't you know that? I feel like there's cultures that we've given technology to, like Kyrgyzstan, for instance. They have microwaves, and they still do this practice of what is called wife kidnapping. And so that's when you literally just take a woman and you forcibly marry her to yourself. And then the family of the woman is like, well, I guess you're married now. And so, yeah, just the same. Yeah, really makes you think. Why don't we have that in like America? Like, we need that. We need more of this forced wife kidnapping. I'm sure that'll solve everything. Just keep remembering that in Brazil, before Portugal came in here, everyone was a cannibal. Okay. No bueno. Yeah, it's like, hmm. It's people who say something like, we can't ever have a system of meta ethics. All ideas are just the same. I think that are just driving this type of discussion, and it's like, no, you really can make an assumption. Yes, maybe it is an assumption, but you really can do it, and everyone does it. So you just kind of go from there. I think people want to be able to tell, fuck, how do you do that? How do I do what? Delicious. I only get 1 cup of coffee a day because I feel like the price of the happiness, and so I really, really savor it. I really savor that coffee. Oh yeah, just take some of these brushes and then you just like slather them on for a little while, and then you get a thumbnail that kind of looks like this, and then from there just kind of paint it up, and then it looks good. Let me see, where's my music? Where did it go? It's just gone. Okay. Clip Studio Paint. It is good, but I suck at coloring. I've never used much other than I've tried a couple. I think I tried Paint Tool Sai once and I didn't like it, and I tried Krita once and I tried GIMP once and I just didn't like it, and so I just borrowed Photoshop from my uncle. Uncle P, I'll call him. Uncle P, and then I just, yeah. P tier Griffin. It's like that's on dope. But yeah, I think like this one is the brush effects. This one is mostly just this brush effect at this point. Yeah, so I usually recommend doing that because Photoshop, again, I feel like digital art, you know, 2D artists are at the, we're probably gonna be going away. It's gonna be all 3D soon, I think, or we're gonna be kept alive in some like limited capacity. So you know what? Just learn to use whatever tool is the most expedient to get a job, and I believe that's Photoshop. So just, you know, fuck 'em, just grab it. And then, like, when you get good, that's my plan anyway. Get good. At that point, you can be like, okay, yeah. Now I can afford to pay for this. Photoshop has a unique array of tools that they keep developing, and there's always something new, and I feel like for 2D there's just nothing better, especially since it also has a 3D integration and all these other tools that I haven't really figured out how to use just yet. It's just like an infinite sea of what's called, if you just want to, like, you know, because like I feel like when you get that studio job or whatever, they're gonna have Photoshop. They're not gonna have Krita. I have it, but my computer doesn't support it. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, I feel like sometimes my computer doesn't support it. When I res images up, when I'm ready to paint them, you know, at that point it becomes kind of like, okay, Photoshop, I need you to do this thing, and it's like, yeah, I don't think I can do that. Do you ever use Krita to make these? Nah. There's no point. Yeah, Photoshop is just better. I mean, like, you could probably use Krita for what I do. You just need those brushes. I don't do too much in the way of using Photoshop. But I find that Photoshop runs very stable. I find that it has some tools that I can't live without already, like lassos and mixer brush, lasso, mixer brush, and I don't know, like erasers. I don't really use too many tools, so it's good at bashing photos in too. So, you know. This is like from a bunch of other artists. Some of them sell it. Well, they give them out with their tutorials. So I don't know if it's ethical to just give out these brushes. But you can get like Rungia's brush pack. You can get Shaddy Safadi's brush pack. You can get Craig Mullins' brush pack, Jamie Jones' brush pack, and then find ones that you like. And then, yeah, and then you'll have my brush set, basically. I feel like, I don't know, I think I have an uploaded version of it without Brad Rigney's brushes, because I feel like he's kind of selling those, and why I disagree with selling brushes, I think it's kind of gay, but, you know, if he's doing that, I feel bad if I were to just give them out, because they are his brushes. Even though it feels like a Fortnite dance situation to me. It's like you can't really copyright a dance move. I know you can kind of, but like it's a little cringy. Can you not do that? Especially if it's like, okay, in a completely different you know, type of venue. It's like no one's actually doing this dance to sell tickets to a dance. You know, they're doing it to sell skins or some shit like that. I don't know. Default dance. Paintstorm Studios, my preferred painting software. Ixie shilling for Paintstorm yet again. Predictable, rather. Predictable. I don't know. I don't like Paintstorm, but yeah. I feel like it's almost free. I have what's it called? I bought it because it's like $20, and so I still have it. You know, if they update it and it becomes really good, I'm gonna switch to it. But yeah, default dance. Wouldn't it be hilarious if they started like hiring professional choreographers to work with their animators to develop like just like choreography for an internet shooting game? What makes Fortnite better than PUBG? It's the dances, of course. But yeah, brushes. I think I've got a set uploaded to like. I think if you hit command, it gives it to you. Hold on, let me see. I think I got rid of the bots that used to do that. Whoops. Nope. Just Photoshop. Not a lot of people use it, so I just like. You could probably port them somehow. I don't know what like the brush files are like exactly. I think they're just stamps, so like they're not really. I think there's some features in the brush engine that you can't really duplicate. So like it would just be the different brushes, so you wouldn't get those brushes at that point. So like it wouldn't matter. My suggestion: borrow Photoshop. The more market share Photoshop has, I think, the better. Because then... Konnichiwa. Turbo, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. And welcome back, Fire. Oh, Ixie found it. I actually used that. I used it from, what's it called? Oh yeah, join the Discord. I have like brush packs in there, I think. And inspirational photos from places on the internet. Okay, so I think I understand what the problem is now with this perspective. Might be a little bit too late to fix it though. I think I'll continue it. I think I might continue it to the end. Maybe that's what I'll do. Yeah, positioning the figures is gonna be tough, I think. I'll probably have to do a couple of passes at that. But yeah, I grab most of these from artists that I like, and that's kind of my suggestion. You find artists whose effects and brush quality of strokes you enjoy, and then, yeah, you just use them. Use them. Use them, use them, use them. Let's see. Who added me? Hold on. Oh. Interesting. I think I want more ships docking so you can kind of also I can kind of like what do you call that? Contrast my foreground with the background if I have ships there and I have well lit figures. Pop, pop, pop. But yeah, if you join a Discord, you can share your artwork and yeah. We can laugh at it together. I mean, no, I'm just kidding. I could give critique and some things like that. I feel like I've always wanted to do like a kind of a learning environment, but I don't know, that's kind of a difficult thing to get people into, I think. Yeah. That's okay. As long as everyone's laughing at each other, I think it's fine. As long as no one person is like, I'm the best. Yeah, I don't take it that seriously, so you could probably laugh at mine too. And you know what? There has to be like a break within this thing, and I'll be like, oh, okay. And there's a pillar. It's kind of like a pier, is what I'm going for. A space pier. Asian space pier. I make my drawings with a mouse, so oof. Grab one of those $60 Intuos draw tablets, man. It's about the same price as a mouse, and it's infinitely better. Save yourself a lot of time. A lot of time. You don't need the best tablet to start. In fact, you probably don't need the best tablet. Just period. You can get one refurbished too. You get one because a lot of people like move up. They move up and they drop like a small Intuos 3 for like, I don't know, $50, some shit like that. Intuos 3 is a very solid tablet. Much better than you know, some of this other stuff that's out now. My first tablet was an Intuos 3, and it's, you know, still a good tablet, still somewhere in there. Huins are like $90, I think, for what's it called. So it's actually just more expensive. As far as I remember, Huins were what's it called, a little bit more expensive than the draw for what's it called. Yeah, I understand that. I get that. Yeah, most artists don't have any money. I get that, man. There's actually an idea that I resisted for a very long time, but I got a job so that I could do this all the time with no limitations on whatever I need. At first I thought I needed all the time, you know, and I did need all the time, but you know, I wanted a better tablet and things like that, so be able to pay for rent more comfortably without having to do illicit contracts online. Yep. So I got part-time. I'm trying to make it up part-time, but they really like me and they don't want to give me part-time because they're like, no, my friend. No, my friend. I don't think so. Huin GT 220 V2. Let me see. What does that look like? $500 with the what's it called? Oh, it comes. It's what's it called? I don't like those that have. I don't really like this. I don't get the appeal of being able to see what you draw. I guess because I've been drawing blind for my whole career. I just don't. I feel like I don't really need it at this point. I would maybe I'll invest in one just to see what it's like. To see my hand in front of me. I think the last comment I remember about the Huion was not a good one. I think it was a different model though, so who knows. I recommend Intuos because I've used this one for 2012, 6 years now, and the previous one I used for, well, I didn't really use it, I just kind of let it sit there. Yeah, I guess the other one wasn't really that important. I bought one in high school. I bought it into Intuos 3 when I had I got a part-time job at Target just so I could pay for it. A full-time job, sorry. Full-time job at Target so that I could pay for it. And then I got it for like $500. And then I quit. Got him. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard only bad things about Huon from you, from Mantis, and from some other dude that came in here talking shit about the Huon. I forgot his name. Yeah, I'd be careful. I'd be careful with the Huon. You don't need the best Intuos, you know? If you hop on eBay, I know they have like sales right now because like eBay just keeps hitting me with all these fucking sales, and you just type in like Wacom. Really? This is mine. But this one's small. I have a large one. Got that big dick energy. I need a big fucking tablet. But if you go with, I think, you know, even a small. This is brand new. Bamboo and the creative pen thing, they're the same thing, so don't even be fooled by that. Just rebranding. I wouldn't get these old Cintiqs, the 21s. For some reason they're really cheap. Medium is okay. It's about as good as a Huon, I think, for the same price, and it'll last you longer. The bamboo and the aren't small. They're the same thing as the the bamboos. They're not bad. They're definitely better. But like what you actually want is something like an Intuos 4 medium for $59, pre-owned. Hopefully it doesn't have $400 worth of shipping. Sometimes they do that shit. That's so annoying. Shipping fast and free. Yeah, what you want is something like this. A medium Intuos 4 for $60. It's probably gonna go up to 100. This one, something like that. So maybe not. Maybe don't put it on what's called. But there's so many of them that you could probably get one on eBay. Or if you're feeling really confident in your fighting ability. You can go on Craigslist. See, this guy has a medium for $160, and just tell him like, look, that's really far. That's really far for what's called. I can give you $100 for this. I can give you $100. 100. Today, I'll be at your house. I will get you that money. And most of the time, people on Craigslist will be like, yeah, let's do that. $100 cash? Let's go. $500 cash for Cintiq 13 in Brooklyn. Yeah, thinking about it. I'm fucking with it. I don't really want to walk around with $14.75 cash in my pocket. That seems like a bad fucking idea. 500 maybe. In Brooklyn. Brooklyn's a little bit like, what's it called? But you could come, most of the time you can get these guys to come down to the local police department and then meet you there, and they'll be kosher with it. Cause then they know that you're not robbing them and they're not robbing you. A lot of the times, they won't bargain with you if you do that shit though. They'll be like, all right, but you gotta pay full price. Yeah, most people really want to be secure in the fact, cause like they're also taking a risk inviting someone into their house, or you know, I'll meet you at the gas station, you know, something like that. But yeah, I've gotten some good deals on Craigslist. You can usually get something. Craigslist, eBay. You got to be careful with eBay. Sometimes they will rip you off. You got to be very quick to do a chargeback, because eBay, yeah, and protect your items, because like especially if it's above $200, you got to get the eBay protection. Please trust me on that. There's so many people that are scamming. But if you have eBay protection, then you're good. Most of the time, I believe almost 100% of the time, they will have your back, as long as you do it quick enough. 15,000 rupees. That's a lot, I think. Yeah, I get that. Like, working minimum wage in New York, you don't have to work too long. If you're, renting a room, something like that. If you're renting a room, you don't have to work too long to get a tablet. Even at, entry-level minimum wage job. So Intos is Wacom. They are one and the same. What? Yep. Intos is Wacom. I would view it as an investment. It'll last you for 10 years. For sure. Well, you're selling your soul either way, so might as well get a good deal for it, right? Might as well get a good deal. I think I want to extend this down a little bit. I'm screwing with the perspective a little bit. I hope that it doesn't become unmanageable later. Hopefully not. I bought one Wacom 1. Bought Wacom 1 medium. Like Intuos 1? That's really old. I haven't even tried those models. I don't know. Like when I started, I was already Intuos 3 as like the primary one, so just grab one. Yeah, it's a good investment, I would say. It sucks. The Wacom one. Yeah, I've never, like, I know the Intuos 3 is a very solid build. I've never tried the one. That was, like, when it was, I think 2008, something like that. It was already in, Intuos 3 was the one that they were selling, so. Yeah, that was a long time ago. Right now they're on Cintiqs and I think they're still selling the Intuos Pro. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I have to say on tablets, I'm sure. What is SCP? Never heard of it. Sounds like the Sacramento police or something. The game. SCP. Something rings a bell. Let me see. I'm gonna Google it. Oh, yeah, yeah. Secure, contain, protect. Yeah, yeah. I remember this. This is like an old, like satire project, I think. I remember this from a thing. Yeah. Yeah, I remember SCP. I just like I haven't really heard about it for a while. I think it was like some debacle recently. I think Jim covered it, but I don't remember, honestly. It's been so long. They're making a new game in Unity. I thought it was just like a collection of works in satire. I thought it was just like this kind of internet joke. I didn't know that they had a game. Oh, fan games. Gotcha. Fandoms ruin everything. Yeah. Well, that's kind of the point of them, isn't it? You have a group of people autistically focused in on something, and I mean that's what they do, so should be no surprise, right? Toxic. I thought SCP was just what's it called? Again, it's like I didn't need to, like for some reason I thought they were just the whole point of them was it's trolling, just like artistic trolling of some sort. I'll watch a movie. Good luck. Hey, enjoy your movie. Thanks for coming by. See you again. It's bad. I haven't heard too much about it. I guess it's just like not something that I'm too interested in. Just never got into it. I think I remember people writing articles, like back in the day, but then that was about it. Yeah, the only thing I have the energy and time to artistically focus in on is art. So I kind of like his hat better. I'm gonna just duplicate it here. Yeah, it seems like a very, very deep, esoteric part of the internet I just don't care enough about. There's a lot of places like that. Furries, bronies. Oh, I think I'm starting to remember where I know SCP from. You've made fan art for it? Furries are weird, but I kind of like them. There's too much overlap with like weird pedophile slash like there's so much overlap with those other communities that I just like bestiality and all that is just like it really sickens me, and so I don't know, I find most furries to be incredibly suspect. Plus I know a bunch of them and they're all like really strange. Hopefully some of them are nice, and like I guess not all furries are into that sort of thing, but there's so much overlap and so much of them are doing things that are just like really weird. I think there's a one furry, Kiro the Wolf, who you can look up recently in furry news. A lot of really bad shit, so I don't even know. I just find them suspect most of the time, and I just like, very sus. Kiro the Wolf, Kero. Kiro the Wolf. I think you can you can find a lot of stuff on Twitter going around about him now. Yeah, really weird shit. Again, it's like there's just too much like overlap. The people that defended him are like, there's like part of the furry community is like attacking him and part of it is defending him, and then the part that's defended is attacking him. I think one of them is like this dragon furry. I forgot what his name is. But he has videos up defending cubbing or whatever the fuck that is. And it's just it's like really sick shit. And so like I don't know. I find those people to be suspect. I'm sure there's some small part that is just like harmless, but it seems like there's a very large part that's not at all. So, it's my thoughts on the furries. Not a big fan of furries. TBH. Yeah, he had to delete his Twitter because there was logs coming out of him like doing like really despicable shit that I really don't want to talk about. But if you like Google his name, you should be able to find him. It's the latest outrage from the furry community. I'm your host, Poppy Darnis. Totally not a ripoff of someone else's meme. Yeah. Wait, hell, Michigan? I don't know. There's a lot of sick shit on the internet, man. I try to stay away from. This one's gonna be a spaceship, and this one too. This one too is going to be a spaceship. I'm gonna add some thrusters and things to it, make it seem. Right now it's kind of blending into the what's it called? How do I color him? I just slather on the color. I don't have any particular way of doing it. I just like add a new layer and I'll start like picking out what I think is gonna be lit, and I just like go from there, you know. Not a very complex thing. Like I'll pick out, and I might throw it into color just so I don't lose all of my value information. Give it like 50% and then, you know, make another color pass trying to use those values that I've already created, and like actually working. Maybe I'll work under it, you know, because I know that this is the wrong value here, right? But I used it, so and you could just do passes where you're fixing the values to be correct with the colors, and then ultimately I'll get to a mostly colored pass, and then I won't work with value anymore. Coloring is easy. It's the rest of it that's hard. For me. Oh fuck, am I working at 3 today? God damn it, hold on. Let me fuck, is Sunday the first day or is it the hold on. What's the day? Let me just check that I'm not late to work. Cause they're already like butt mad about shit. Cause I didn't come in after we got robbed, and they were like, "Can't believe you've done this." 9:30. 9:30. That's today. Okay, so I am working at 3 p.m. today. I'm off tomorrow. Hopefully I can get a double stream in. Oh, I'm off on Friday. Cool. That's interesting. That is interesting. I could go grocery shopping. I'm gonna go grocery shopping on Friday. Subtle Mint, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you, buddy. Welcome to the stream. I gotta run off to work. So sorry about that. Let's save this file, cause Doc. That's why I followed. I gotta run off to work more often then, get more followers. Sorry guys, I'm running off to work. False alarm. JK. Alright guys, thanks for coming. See you later.